The second significant piece of expungement fee legislation that passed this year goes into effect on October 1st, 2024. This bill, HB 352, was sponsored by Representative Carrie Ann Lisenby. This bill does two really important things that will help people with records. HB 352 creates a pathway which never existed before for a person to be able to get a waiver of their BCI certificate fees. This is a really important thing because prior to this law, if a person couldn't pay that $65 for each case that they had to get that certificate of eligibility from BCI, they weren't able to clear their record. So how this law works is you're going to apply to BCI just like you did before. But after October 1st, there will be a spot on the application where you will be able to indicate that you believe that based on your income, you are going to receive a waiver of your court fees. Check out the link below for a table which is going to show you what those income thresholds are. If a person checks that box, BCI is on notice that, hey, this person's income is low, they're probably not going to be able to afford the certificate fees. Let's wait, let's see if the court, after looking at their income, agrees. And if the court agrees and grants that person's fee waiver, orders that person's record to be expunged, BCI will not charge certificate fees for those cases. However, if the court disagrees with the person and after looking at their income believes that they actually can afford those court fees, BCI will not expunge the records until those certificate fees are paid. This law is potentially transformative for people with records who have multiple cases and are facing high government fees of $65 per case. The second thing that HB 352 does is make the fee waiver process more efficient. So before this law went into effect, if someone wanted a waiver of their court fees, they had to file waiver paperwork and requests with each court in which they had an expungement petition pending. This was a lot of work for the individual and also not a great process for the court because we're asking multiple judges to take a look at someone's income and basically make a ruling on the same thing. Representative Lisenby and the rest of the legislature determined that this was wasteful, not a good use of judicial resources, and also created undue burdens for the individual trying to go through this process. So on October 1st, this new law will go into effect. What this new law will allow someone to do is to start with one waiver. So as they're filing that first expungement petition, they can file their fee waiver paperwork with the court. And if that court determines that based on that person's income, they are unable to pay the court filing fee, that ruling and order will govern any of the other cases that the person has. This will save a lot of time on the part of the individual as well as on the part of the court, and it's just a much more efficient way to handle this process. This bill also then interacts with that BCI fee change that we talked about in the beginning. If the court grants that fee waiver, included in the court's order to expunge that record is going to be some language letting BCI know that the court found that based on the person's income, they could not afford the court fees. As a result of that order, BCI will then waive all of the certificate fees and proceed with the expungement of that person's record.